Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm getting ready with you guys and it's gonna be a full face of Colourpop. We're gonna go from foundation, concealer, brows, eyeshadow, blush, highlighter, bronzer, everything, and of course lips from Colourpop. I thought I would show you how I use the new Colourpop No Filter foundation, as well as the loose powder and the pressed powder. I already primed my eyes because I do not have a Colourpop eye primer. They don't make it. And the face primer and setting spray, those just launched, and it not being very easy to get them here in Europe, I didn't think it was necessary. I'm gonna start immediately with the foundation. I am in the shade Light 65. I really like that the foundation has a pump and it does squirt a little bit violently. I know I saw, I think Messy Jessie talk about that, but you saw, and now it was a little bit stuck. Regardless, I am using a damp beauty sponge to apply this to my face. The shade is a little bit light for me now because I have been self-tanning. If you've seen my stories on Instagram, I am totally in love with the Isle of Paradise tanning drops, and I've been going ham on them, so I am a little bit tanner all over than all of my foundation shades, to be honest. But you can see it has a really nice medium coverage. It looks pretty good like skin and not too much like foundation. I really like that. I'm gonna take some more and do my forehead. Please excuse me for my red forehead. I just colored my hair and it's almost inevitable to have a little bit of dyeing on my scalp. So it is what it is, but as you can see, the foundation covers it well. And the foundation can definitely go on higher coverage if you use a brush. But I really like the finish when you use a sponge. It's much more natural, and in summer I tend not to use a lot of foundation anyways. Then I'm gonna go in with the Colourpop concealer. This has been out for a while. I am in the shade, I do not know. I think this was light 20 when they first come out, but now I think it corresponds to light 18. This concealer was in my project pan for a while. As you can see, it's almost empty. But nowadays it's a little bit dry for me, so I'm not loving it to use it a lot, but it is a good coverage concealer. I used to like it more in winter. My skin is a bit weird. It gets more dehydrated in summer and less oily. So yeah, that is that. But you can see how nice this concealer covers. That I really like. Now that we're ready, I'm gonna go in with the Colourpop No Filter setting powder, and I have the shade Translucent. This is this is translucent, but in the tub it actually looks a little bit on the yellow side, as if it's color correcting a little bit. And with a small tapered brush, I just apply it under my eyes. I have been liking this powder. It's not particularly mattifying or drying, and it doesn't really emphasize any dryness under the eyes. I've used it with different concealers as well, because I was saying that the Colourpop one hasn't been among my favorites lately, but the powder I've been liking. I will set the rest of my face with the pressed powder. I have the shade Medium. And this definitely has quite a tint, which I like because it actually helps me balance out now that I am a little bit darker foundations that are a little bit too light. And this is also quite a nice setting powder, I have to say. I don't mind that it's not too mattifying. It's actually quite nice to use, and I can carry it around really easily. You've seen these in my latest haul. And I've had them for a few weeks now, testing them. But I feel like everybody already has a review on these, so why would I bother? But I want to show you how they look on me and how they last. Tonight I'm going out for dinner, and now it's 4 o'clock, so I'm gonna check in after dinner and see how the foundation held up. It's 30 degrees outside, so it's really warm. I think it's a good test, even though you're not getting a full-on review, but there's so many out there of those. I'm just bombarded by them myself. Blabbering aside, let's go on to brows. This is the Colourpop Brow Boss. I use the shade Dark Brown, and this is one of my all-time favorite brow pencils. It's really fine, quite hard in the sense that you can get actually quite precise lines with it. I had mentioned, I think when these first came out, that I tried them when I was in the US. And I could get all the launches as soon as they launched. I loved that. Anyways, that I didn't personally like the other brow pencils they had before this one, because they were very soft formula, and yeah, it just wasn't working. It would leave you with this Sharpie brow, let's say. And they have a spoolie on the back. And compared to the other ones, these you can actually retract all the way, whereas the other ones, once you pull them out, you couldn't get them back in. So I think these were quite the improvement on the formula of the Colourpop brow pencils, but I know a lot of people still love the old ones. Here we go. As I just dyed my hair, it's much redder than my brows, so I apologize, but that will also fade out and look more normal. For brow gel, I'm going in with the Brow Boss gel. This is a transparent brow gel, and I haven't used it in a while because I was trying to finish the one I had from Essence, but it's taking me forever of daily use. But this is quite the heavy-duty brow gel. It keeps your hairs in place really well, and as you can see, it kind of gives a little bit of life back into the brows, that they don't look as stuck down as when you just do them with a pencil. Let's go in for the eyes. I'm going to be taking my favorite Colourpop palette. This is the Dream Street palette in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. I love this palette. It has everything I need in a eyeshadow palette in a very compact form, so I like to travel with this for short periods of time. And I have a full video on this as well, because this is just such a good palette. I just went in with this shade for the brow bone. Then since I am wearing all orange, I am going to do quite a warm toned eyeshadow, as usual. Going in with this transition shade mixed with this one. I really like the formula of the pressed eyeshadows from Colourpop. They are very good quality, and I have a big collection of their single shadows as well. Palettes, not so much, because I end up not using them very much. So I prefer to have single shadows that I can mix and match as I want. But they have released a bunch of eyeshadow palettes that everybody has. It's just a lot of neutrals, and except for like the My Little Pony that was all purples, they're not really interesting. And this one is the best. Then I'm gonna go in with this bright terracotta shade all over. If you're curious to see swatches of these, I have just started back working on my blog, and there's quite a nice backlog of all the swatches and comparisons of Colourpop eyeshadows that I did last year. It was so much easier when I didn't have a full-time job to just dedicate time both to the blog and the YouTube channel. And I kind of want to try to get back into it, because even if I work full-time, I think I can find some time in the afternoon, now that it's dark really late, to, you know, film or take pictures or something like that. Now that I have orange all over my eyes, I'm gonna deepen it up. I'm gonna take this dark brown to deepen up my eye. And this is also one of those reasons this palette is perfect, because you have a deep brown to that works with all of the other shades as well. I really like it. Again, I don't know how many times I can recommend this palette, but if you have to buy one from Colourpop, this is the one to go. Plus, it has the beautiful teal, matte teal, and the shimmery teal as well. Now, there is a Kathleen Lights and Colourpop collaboration coming out on the 27th of July, and it's a Zodiac collaboration, and I'm gutted that I can't pick it up. And, well, the reason I can't is that shipping is 10 euros flat, or $10, sorry, flat rate. And then you have to pay on top of that 21% of VAT and the 13 euros of administration costs that it costs to import it. So that's ridiculous. It just doesn't work. It ends up being a lot more money than what you spend on the products. I am going to use the shade Get Paid in my inner rim to line my inner rim. This is a beautiful metallic eyeliner. Is this also a Kathleen Lights collab? This could be. And I'm taking a NYX liner for the outer corner just because I actually decluttered my dark brown Colourpop eyeliner when I moved away from the US, if you can remember those videos. And that was just because it was old and I preferred these NYX ones to that one. The gel liners and the pencil liners from Colourpop really worked well, but the color was just a little off for me. I don't know if it was too warm or something, but I just prefer these ones. They sit a little bit nicer on my eye. And this is just to give a little bit of definition, as usual, and smudging it out. Then I'm taking the same orangey shade and blending that one on my lower lash line as well. And then with the transition shade and a fluffier brush to blend it all out. And you can see I don't really have a lot of fallout at all. Actually, the fallout is my own lashes that are falling out. That's not nice. Now that the eyes are kind of done, I wanted to use the SuperNova shadows. These are their glitter eyeshadows, and I have 4 shades, but the 2 more warm toned, let's say, is Walk of Fame and Hard to Impress. Now I don't know which one to use. Maybe I should go tone on tone, and I'll use Walk of Fame on me in my inner corner. These are quite potent. I actually like them. You just need to let them dry with your lids closed so that they don't crease up. And what I do is also tap the edges with my finger so that it blends a little bit outwards as well. Ah, so pretty. And it seems like nowadays almost every brand is coming out with these type of glitter or liquid eyeshadows, but I really like these. I also have the Stila ones, but I cannot justify the price of that. I'm taking Hall of Fame with a brush now because it's a smaller area and placing it on my inner corner. There we go. And Hall of Fame is the only one, I think, of the first launch at least, is the one that looked the closest to one of the Stila ones because it's more glittery, whereas the others are more metallic. I think the effect of both is really nice. There we go. Hopefully it will not crease, but it looks gorgeous. Then I am going to take a combination of these 2 shimmering shades on my lower lash line. It's just easier to use powder there without fallout and without making too much of a mess. And then this light shade on my inner corner to intensify a little bit more because I have a feeling the other one didn't do much. I don't know if it's the transfer, it didn't work very well. There is no fallout, but then if I use my finger and then tap it on my face, of course there's gonna be color on there. Alice, you're not that smart after all. Let's continue with the face. I am going in with the bronzer. I don't have any of the old Super Shock bronzers, but I have one of the new pressed ones. This is in the shade, it only says on the back, Afternoon Delight. I like these compacts very much. Okay, the camera cut off at the bronzer, which means I was blabbing for more than 20 minutes. What I did is actually applied the highlighter from the In Nude Endo powder, from the In Nude Endo palette, and I used a combination of these two shades, and I was just saying how it looks beautiful on camera and very natural, but I don't still see the hype of it. And then for blush, I used Bardot from the Super Cheek shadows. From the Super Shock Cheek, that's difficult to say because it has a beautiful sheen, and I put it on my cheeks and a little bit over the bridge of my nose to make myself look a little bit tan. Then I'll do mascara off camera because it's not Colourpop, and be right back for the lips. Another camera misfunction. I don't know, this video is absolutely doomed, but we got through the foundation part, which was the most important. On my lips, I put the Lippie Stix in Ziggie. This is a Matte X formula, and one of my favorite Lippie sticks ever. I have a feeling they're discontinuing them or just stopping to make them because now they have the bullet lipsticks, which I have not tried, and I love these so much that I'm not really sure I want to. And then on top, because of this whole glowy skin type of situation that we have, I dabbed a little bit of one of the new glosses. It's called Champagne Mami, just a little bit to give a little bit of a sheen. And yeah, here is my full face of Colourpop. I love these products. This is not a first impressions video. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know down below actually in the comments if you prefer full review videos, or if this type of videos with my impressions and my favorite products by the brand are enough. And don't forget to check alicesbeautymadness.com for the swatches of products, the eyeshadows I mentioned, and other things that are on the blog only. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos. And I will see you just in a few hours when I'm back for my dinner to see how the foundation held up. Hey guys, it is now 11:30. Time to go to bed. Ate so much at dinner, it's ridiculous, but let's take a look at this foundation and makeup in general. So as you can see, I am quite shiny all over, but I don't think it looks bad, to be honest. My glasses have taken a little bit of it off, but I don't feel like it's slipping and sliding. Yeah, I would say that it's just really oily. Right now I would definitely blot, but it's all still very much in place. Even around my nose, you see that it's not really gone anywhere. So yeah, this is in general anyways my experience with this foundation. It will not keep you matte, but it's definitely not something that will break down on you during the day. Also, I think it looks quite healthy overall, and if you just keep blotting a little bit. Let's appreciate I went to a Greek restaurant, I ate infinite amount of food. Lipstick's still there, all the makeup is still there. I'm just glowing from within. I'm not using the microphone because it's really late, and so I apologize for the lens autofocusing. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and looking at how the makeup held up during the day. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and good night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!